In this lesson, we're going to review a news article together so you can improve your English fluency by reading and listening to English at the same time. Welcome back to JForrest English. Of course, I'm Jennifer. Now let's get started. First, I'll read the headline. The Beatles release a new song with a little help from AI. Have you heard the new Beatles song that was released? If you have, then let us know in the comments. Notice the question I asked you was in the present perfect verb tense. Have you heard the new Beatles song? Now I can add yet because we use yet for questions in the present perfect, but it's optional, it's not required. To answer, you can also use the present perfect. You can say, yes, I have. Yes, I have heard it if you want to use the full sentence, but you can also just say, yes, I have. No, I haven't. No, I haven't heard it. Or no, I haven't heard it yet. So you can use yet in question form or negative form, but you cannot use it in positive sentence form. And this is in the present perfect because it's an ongoing time reference. It's still possible for you to listen to the Beatles song now. So that's why it's in the present perfect. So share your answer in the comments. I'm very excited to know. And don't worry about taking notes because I summarize everything in a free lesson PDF, so you can look in the description for the link. Now let's continue and learn about the new Beatles song. The Beatles have released their new single, the long-awaited Now and Then. So this is the name of the song, Now and Then. Now notice right here, what verb tense is this? The present perfect. But the reason why we're using the present perfect here is different from the reason we're using it here. We use the present perfect for different reasons. In this case, we're using it because it's a past action with a present consequence, a result in the present. So the single was released. The single means one song. So the song was released. That's a completed past action. But we're putting it in the present perfect because now you can listen to it. So that's the result in the present, and that's why they're saying have released. I wrote the note for you here. I also wrote the sentence in the past simple because grammatically both are possible. The Beatles released their new single. The difference is that the one in the present perfect emphasizes the result in the present. That's the only difference between the two. The Beatles have released their new single, the long-awaited Now and Then. Let's talk about long-awaited. When you describe something as long-awaited, it means you've been expecting it for a long time. So you've been waiting for it for a long time. For example, we're going on our long-awaited vacation. So it just emphasizes the fact that you've been waiting for this vacation for a long time. Now let's talk about the name of the song Now and Then, because this is a time reference in English. Now and then means sometimes, but not that often. So less often than sometimes. So if you say, I study English now and then, that's not a very good thing because it sounds like you don't study English very often. So you want to say, I frequently study English. I always study English. You want to use a different time reference. It's an emotionally powerful song that was written by John Lennon as a home demo in the 1970s. The word demo is very common in English. It means a sample of something. A company will often offer you a demo to give you a sample of their product or service so you're more likely to buy it. So John Lennon recorded this as a demo. A home demo just means he recorded it in his home rather than a recording studio. And when I hear the word demo, to me it sounds more unfinished. It's not perhaps either the full song or not 100% done because it's just a demo. It's just a sample. And he did this in the 1970s. But it's also a true Beatles collaboration with Paul McCartney, George Harrison, and Ringo Starr. So of course, these are the other members of the band along with John Lennon, playing and singing together. Before we move on, I'd love to tell you about LingQ, my personal favorite way to learn a language. LingQ is a language app that lets you learn from content you love. The reason why I use LingQ to learn languages and why I recommend you do too is because of the app's focus on input. On LingQ, you have access to thousands of hours of content that includes both audio and text, so you can both read and listen to English. Plus, you can import content directly from YouTube, Netflix, blogs, the news, and much more. For example, you know those news articles that I like to share in my videos? You can easily import them into LingQ and create your own interactive lessons. You'll be able to easily look up words and phrases, track your statistics, and level up your English ability. I first started using LingQ because the platform was co-founded by Steve Kaufman. He's a polyglot who speaks 20 languages. His method focuses on input, lots of reading and lots of listening. And that's why LingQ, the app Steve co-founded, is so effective. It makes reading and listening to content in my target language easier and more enjoyable. LingQ is available on both desktop and mobile, so you can practice your English anytime, anywhere. And LingQ is giving all JForrest English viewers a 35% discount off a 1-year premium plan if you upgrade using my coupon code. You'll also have access to my special LingQ shelf, which includes my favorite English articles and TV shows. I highly recommend LingQ because I know it will help you improve your English quickly and you'll have a lot of fun in the process. So use the link in the description to sign up now. Let's continue with our lesson. I highlighted collaboration here. You're probably familiar with the verb to collaborate. When you collaborate with someone or with a team, it means you work with that person or that team to create something or to achieve one specific result. So collaboration is just the same meaning, but it's the noun form. So a collaboration is when two or more people work together. Written by Lennon in 1978. So this is the specific time because before it only said the 70s. So we didn't know specifically, but now we do. 1978, and completed by McCartney and Starr last year. Now and Then also features sounds by the band's late guitarist George Harrison, using pieces of one of his studio recordings from 1995. So notice here, this is a completed sentence. Now and Then also features. This part adds additional information to the sentence. So we're getting the specific year that it was written. And notice the grammar here, because we're not starting the sentence with the normal subject, verb, object. That's the normal way a sentence is written. It's starting with the past participle. So this is taking place because this entire piece of the sentence can be removed and the sentence is still grammatically correct. Let's review a shorter sentence. So here, the full sentence, Apple is one of the most successful companies in the world. This is correct on its own. But I can add more information, and I'll start with my past participle of the verb. Founded in 1976, Apple's one of the most successful companies in the world. It's just a way to give more information. So that's an advanced grammatical structure that you can use. Let's continue. I want to point out also here the word of late. Of course, when someone or something is late, it means it doesn't arrive on time. In this case, that's not what it means. Do you know what it means? In this case, describing someone as late, the band's late guitarist, George Harrison, it's another way of saying dead. It's the more polite way of describing someone as deceased, dead. Because it doesn't sound very nice to say the band's dead guitarist, George Harrison. So we use a more polite term, the band's late guitarist, George Harrison, using pieces of one of his studio recordings from 1995. You could say, that desk belonged to my late uncle. You could say that desk belonged to my uncle, but if you want to let the person know that he's no longer alive, you add late. That desk belonged to my late uncle. McCartney also added a new string guitar part with help from Giles Martin, the son of the late Beatles producer George Martin. So again, we have another person who is dead, the late producer George Martin. So I'll highlight this again for you. Now and Then, in part, used artificial intelligence to separate out Lennon's original vocals before incorporating McCartney and Starr's musical additions in the studio last year. So remember, the song was written in part by artificial intelligence. In part is the same as partly, which means some amount, but not 100%. Let's look at this example using Apple again. Apple was successful because of its user-friendly design. Now, if I add in part because of its user-friendly design, you know that some amount of Apple's success was because of the user-friendly design, but not 100% of Apple's success. So it is a very common term to have in your vocabulary. Now and Then, in part, used artificial intelligence to separate out Lennon's original vocals. So the song wasn't created with artificial intelligence. It's actually Lennon's original voice, but artificial intelligence was used to, remember, he had that home recording and there was his voice and other musical instruments on that recording and all together, but then they use AI to just separate out his voice. So they took his voice and they were able to isolate it and ignore the other sounds in the demo. So they separated out Lennon's original vocals. So vocals, that's his voice, vocals, before incorporating. This is a more advanced, a more C1 way of saying adding, a more academic way perhaps. Before adding, I'll highlight that for you. Before incorporating, adding McCartney and Starr's musical additions in the studio last year. A short documentary film chronicling the making of Now and Then was released Wednesday. Here, chronicling simply means providing the details of. So the documentary provides the details of the making of Now and Then. It chronicles the making of Now and Then, and it was released Wednesday on the Beatles' official YouTube channel. So if you're interested, you can watch this short documentary. Ahead of an upcoming music video. Okay, ahead of, this is another way of saying before, and we specifically use it when there is another event and you want to emphasize something before, ahead of another event. For example, I watched the documentary ahead of the presentation. So before has many uses. It's more general and it's more versatile, but we only use ahead of when something else is specified. And in this specific case, it means exactly the same as before. So it doesn't matter which one you use. Ahead of an upcoming music video, which is expected to drop roughly 24 hours after the release of the song itself. Okay, to drop, this means to become available. I hear this with movies, music, sometimes products. The new iPhone will drop next week, will be available. But honestly, it isn't the most widely used. It's more common in a general sense just to use become available. So you can understand what it means in this context, but I don't recommend you use it because it might not sound appropriate in all contexts. Roughly is very commonly used, and it's the same as approximately. So it could be 24 hours, 23 hours, 25 hours, roughly 24 hours after the release of the song itself. And now the music video will be available because I'm reviewing this article more than 24 hours after this happened. So you can watch the music video now as well. Now and Then's eventful journey to fruition took place over 5 decades. Fruition, this is when something is successfully completed, and that something is usually an idea or a project. So in this case, the creation, the release of the song. So for example, the new museum has come to fruition because you need a verb here, and we commonly use the verb come to fruition. And notice my sentence is in the present perfect because it's a completed past action, but there's a result in the present. So now you can go to the museum. 5 decades, 1 decade is 10 years. So 5 decades is 50 years. So 1 decade is 10 years. 1 decade. So it took them 50 years to bring this song to fruition. Because notice, they're bringing the song to fruition. If you're talking about the song, you can say the song has come to fruition after 50 years. But the musicians, they brought the song to fruition. I wrote that here, and in this example, I put it in the past simple because it's also grammatically correct. It's just a completed past action. The Beatles brought the song to fruition. Took over 5 decades and is the product of conversations and collaborations between the 4 Beatles that go on to this day. Reads the short film's YouTube description. But the real marvel of Now and Then is the massive emotional impact of the song itself. Here, marvel represents something that produces admiration. So the reason why we should admire the song Now and Then is the massive emotional impact of the song itself. If you have any affection for these 2 men, the 2 men being the members of the Beatles, it's powerful to hear John and Paul, so these are the 2 men, join voices to sing the chorus. The chorus is the main part of the song, the part that repeats many times in the song, chorus. So these are the lyrics from the song. If you've heard the song, then you'll know this. Now and then, I miss you. So they're saying it has a strong emotional impact. Hearing these 2 singers who have so much history together say to each other, now and then, I miss you. John's song is nakedly emotional. You may be wondering about nakedly because you might know the word naked is when someone is not wearing any clothing. So in this case, nakedly emotional, well, just think when someone's naked, everything is visible, right? So they're saying the emotions are very obvious. You can fully hear them in the lyrics, in their voices. So there's no hiding the emotions. Nakedly emotional. And these are more lyrics from the song, and they show how emotional it is. I know it's true. It's all because of you. And if I make it through, it's all because of you. Me reading these lyrics
do nothing to the song. So you need to listen to the song and hear it for yourself. So I provide the link here where you can listen to it, but you can also read the lyrics at the same time. So you'll see these lyrics and then the main chorus where they say, "Now and then I miss you." It's a very beautiful song, and I agree, it is quite an emotional song. So I want you to experience that. So you can do that by clicking this link, but don't click it yet, because now what I'll do is I'll read the song from start to finish, and this time you can focus on my pronunciation. So let's do that now. The Beatles release a new song with a little help from AI. The Beatles have released their new single, the long-awaited Now and Then. It's an emotionally powerful song that was written by John Lennon as a home demo in the 1970s, but is also a true Beatles collaboration, with Paul McCartney, George Harrison, and Ringo Starr playing and singing together. Written by Lennon in 1978 and completed by McCartney and Starr last year, Now and Then also features sounds by the band's late guitarist George Harrison, using pieces of one of his studio recordings from 1995. McCartney also added a new string guitar part with help from Giles Martin, the son of the late Beatles producer George Martin. Now and Then, in part, used artificial intelligence to separate out Lennon's original vocals before incorporating McCartney and Starr's musical additions in the studio last year. A short documentary film chronicling the making of Now and Then was released Wednesday on the Beatles' official YouTube channel, ahead of an upcoming music video which is expected to drop roughly 24 hours after the release of the song itself. Now and Then's eventful journey to fruition took place over 5 decades and is the product of conversations and collaborations between the 4 Beatles that go on to this day, reads the short film's YouTube description. But the real marvel of Now and Then is the massive emotional impact of the song itself. If you have any affection for these 2 men, it's powerful to hear John and Paul join voices to sing the chorus, "Now and Then I Miss You." John's song is nakedly emotional. "I know it's true, it's all because of you, and if I make it through, it's all because of you."
Did you enjoy this lesson? Do you want me to make more lessons where we review news articles together? If you do, then put "now and then" in the comments. Put "now and then" in the comments. And of course, like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe so you're notified every time I post a new lesson. And remember, LingQ is giving you an amazing 35% discount off a 1-year premium plan. I know you'll love using LingQ because it will help you take your fluency to the next level. You can get started by clicking right here or look in the description.